Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Old Time Rock and Roll. I'm your host, David Tear, where I've been featuring my personal top 3,000 songs of the rock era from 1954 to 1999. And today I'm up to song number 2575, and that one is Mockingbird by Inez and Charlie Foxx. This came out in 1963. It was R&B and pop hit for them. Went to number 7 on the pop charts, and it has a long history. The song has a very long history, um, and it was actually it was also featured on their album called Mockingbird, which came out the same year. But first, I want to talk about the song, then I'll talk about the duo of Inex and Charlie Fox. But I just want to say the song was it has a very long history. It was based on an old children's lullaby, which I'm sure most of you are familiar with, called "Hush, Little Baby." And I think a lot of parents sing that to their children when they're like babies. And I think I even remember my dad singing it to me when I was probably 1.5, something like that. I do remember him coming to my room and singing it. One of my earliest memories, actually. And it's I'm sure you guys know the tune, "Hush, Little Baby, Don't Say a Word, Papa's Gonna Buy You a Mockingbird," or "Mama," if it's your mama singing. And then it has to go through all these other verses saying, what's gonna happen if Mockingbird dies or whatever. You keep buying new gifts and all that. So Charlie and NX Fox, I guess, played on that lullaby, and they turned it into a rock and roll or R&B song called Mockingbird, which is much jazzier. Mock, it starts out mock, yeah, king, yeah, bird, yeah, 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 mockingbird. Now everybody, have you heard? And it keeps going on. And it sounds a little similar to the lullaby, but like I said, jazzed up a lot. And it's not supposed to be a children's lullaby. It's supposed to be a love song. And I think they do it in a pretty clever way, transitioning it into a love song. I mean, they start with the first few verses, but jazzed up, and then they're like, if my diamond ring won't shine, surely he's gonna break my heart of mine. Obviously that involves a couple, so there is a diamond ring, I think, in the original lullaby, and so that's when it gets turned into a love song. Pretty good, And like I said, this song also has a long history as a rock song or a soul song. So Charlie and Index Fox had the first hit version of it in 1963, but then in 1974, this Carly Simon had a duet with it with James Taylor. I don't know if they were married at the time. I know that Carly Simon and James Taylor ended up getting married. I think they were married during the mid '70s, and I remember when this version was a hit. I was too early to hear Charlie and the Next Fox's version because I was just an infant at the time. I guess I had to hear my dad's version instead as a lullaby. But John Carly and Simon James Taylor's version came out in 1974 when I think I was 10 years old, and I used to listen to it a few times with my sister. And it was a good song. I liked her version. I think I like it even a little bit better than Charlie and X Fox, and her version is coming up on my list, by the way. So you'll get to see that one featured. I'm not sure exactly when, probably in a few years. But anyway, there were other versions as well. I mean, Carly Simon James Taylor version was a bigger hit, went to number 5. They were both top 10 hits. But then it was also covered by Belle Stars in 1982. Their version only went to number 51. After that, it was covered by Toby Keith along with his daughter, Kristen. And I've never heard either of these versions. I've only heard the two versions I mentioned, Inex and Charlie Fox, as well as Carly Simon and James Taylor. But there were other versions, like I'm mentioning. Toby Keith came out in 2004. And then finally, Eddie Money had a version, which he didn't release as a single, but he released on his 2007 album, Wanna Go Back. And it's also been featured in a lot of movies and specials, and very popular song. And now I just want to talk about the Inez and Charlie Fox. Like I said, they were before my time, but they were a popular soul group from 60s. They were around from 1963 to 1971, and they were from Greensboro, North Carolina. And Inez was born in 1937. She died in 2022, just a few years ago. I guess she lived to be pretty old, about 84, 85. But her brother Charlie was born in 1933. I guess he was 4 years older, and he died in 1998. So he didn't live as long as she did. Now I'm just going to go through their hits. They didn't have a lot of hits. Their first one is the one I'm for today, Mockingbird, which, like I said, went to number 7. They followed that up with Hi Diddle Diddle. I think that's based on another nursery rhyme, Hey Diddle Diddle, the cat and the fiddle. That one went to number 91. In 1964, they had a song called Ask Me, which went to 98. And finally, in 1967, they had a song called 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, Count the Days. And that one went to 76. So those were all the hits for Inez and Charlie Foxx. But I do really like this one. Maybe I should listen to some of their other music because if it's anywhere nearly as good as their version of Mockingbird, I'm sure they're all so good. But anyway, that concludes my feature of Mockingbird by Inez and Charlie Foxx. Thank you for watching. You guys rock, and I'll see you next time.